What's up, everybody? It's your boy Hokage here. Welcome to the video. Today I would like to make like a discussion slash review video for the versus Momoshiki arc, and overall I want to talk about the significance of this arc, because this arc is probably the most important arc of the Boruto series so far. And even when the series ends and when we look back at the series, I still feel like despite being in the beginning stages of the Boruto series, this arc will probably always be the most important arc, just because so many things, so many important things happened in it. It's been some time since this arc ended. Right now, it's Friday. Episode 68 just aired yesterday. We're in the middle of this Chocho arc or whatever, and obviously the last episode of the versus Momoshiki arc was episode 66. So I'm kind of a little bit late when it comes to this, but still, like, we're just gonna talk about it, have a good time. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, first of all, the versus Momoshiki arc started in the 51st episode and it ended in the 66th episode, meaning that there were 16 episodes in this arc. And obviously this arc and the new arc so far are the longest arcs of the Boruto series. When it comes to this length, I actually pretty much predicted it before the arc started. My original prediction was that it was going to last for 15 episodes. It lasted for 16, but yeah, I thought the pacing was very, very good. And, at points it could have been a little bit better, especially towards the end, because I remember there were one or two episodes that were kind of dragged. I'm talking, about the period where Naruto got kidnapped by Momoshiki and Kenshiki. But if we look at the arc as a whole, I think that the pacing was pretty great. It was very enjoyable. Obviously, most of you who are watching this video now, unless you're watching this years later and you actually binge watch this arc, but anyway, most of you guys, myself included, like, we watch this arc every week, like one episode per week. But I feel like if I was a new person coming to the Boruto series, and if I was binge watching the series, I would binge watch this arc in 1 or 2 days. That's how good the pacing was, in my opinion. This arc introduced a couple of new things that weren't before in the series. Obviously, one of those things is the soundtrack. A couple of new soundtracks were introduced in this arc, and I felt like it was very, very refreshing. Also, the art and the animation, like, it got a little bit changed in this arc. And ever since the arc ended, they went back to the old animation style. Now, I personally prefer the old one, the one that wasn't used in the versus Momoshiki arc, because I feel like it's a bit more clean, smooth. Yes, the art can be quote unquote questionable at some points, but still I kind of prefer it. Obviously, there was a lot of detail was put in the art when it comes to the versus Momoshiki arc, and that's something that we really need to respect the animators and all the people who are involved within the creation of this arc. So yeah, that was great. But as I said, when it comes to me personally, I prefer the old animation style, that they're back to it again. Anyway, that's it. As for the animation and music and stuff like that, because those things, I'm not saying that they're irrelevant, but for me, something else is much more important. Now, this arc is huge because it sets up the future villains of the series. Obviously, in this arc, we saw 3 Otsutsuki members that were teased in Naruto Shippuden. When we got Kaguya's backstory and all that. But anyway, I'm talking obviously about Momoshiki, Kenshiki, and Urashiki. Momoshiki and Kenshiki, they're pretty much dead at the moment. Urashiki escaped. We don't know, what his role in the future of this series is going to be. My theory is that Kawaki will kill him, thus he will get the seal, because obviously you saw that Boruto got his seal when he killed a god. So, like, there's this theory that Kawaki killed another god, which is Urashiki. We'll see about that. But anyway, even if Kawaki kills him, it has been clearly foreshadowed that we're gonna see a lot of Otsutsuki members in the future of this series. We even saw a couple of Otsutsuki statues throughout this arc. I even did a separate video about it. It's gonna pop up at the end screen of this video. But basically, that's why I think this arc will always be the most important one, because it's the foundation of everything. Well, not foundation of everything, but you get what I'm trying to say. Obviously, we have some new villains in the manga. They still haven't been shown in the anime, so I'm not gonna spoil anything about that. But I'm pretty sure that the Otsutsuki clan, they're gonna be the final guys. Like, if I had to guess, I'd say that the Boruto series will end with, I don't know, Shinobis versus the Otsutsuki clan or something like that. Or maybe Boruto could create peace between them, because obviously Naruto made peace in the ninja world, and I feel like Boruto's gonna make peace, you know, between the different dimensions, worlds, or whatever. That is a bit far-fetched, but I still think it's kind of possible. And anyway, just setting up the future villains or antagonists of the Boruto series. That's why I think this arc is so huge. Now, this arc, I remember when it started, obviously both the ending song and the opening song, or well, the ending and the opening both focused on Boruto heavily, and everybody was like, why is this focused so much on Boruto? Well, throughout the Boruto series, Boruto as a character has been progressing a little bit here and there. I talked about this multiple times in the past. I'm not going to repeat myself, because right now we're talking about the versus Momoshiki arc. But the major character development, character progression, whatever you want to call it, happened in this arc. And there's a huge scene at the end of the 66th episode, I believe, where Boruto starts running like a ninja. And that symbolizes that, yeah, this is Boruto's huge character arc. Because throughout the Boruto series, he was always running like a casual, like, you know, human being from real world. And then he started running like a ninja. Now, I'm not gonna rewatch 66 episodes just to confirm this, but I don't know if he ever ran like a ninja. Even if he did, for the most part, it was just him running normally. And anyway, that was just very, very symbolic, because obviously in this arc, Boruto also found his ninja way, which he even stated. He said, when he was talking to Mitsuki and Sarada, he said that he wants to support and protect Sarada and help her to become the Hokage. And, you know, this is very interesting to me, because, you know, at the end of the day, Boruto and Sarada have the same goal. They want to protect the village and the people of the village, but they want to do it in different ways. You know, Sarada looks up to Naruto, and Boruto looks up to Sasuke, which is something that I really, really like. Yeah, as I said, Boruto as a character progressed in this arc. He finally resolved his main conflict with Naruto. Why am I saying his main conflict? Well, I'm pretty sure that by the end of the series, they're definitely going to have some arguments. It's not like they're always going to be, you know, like, super... What am I trying to say? Like, just look at real life. Look at the people you love the most. You argue from time to time, right? But the main conflict, the tragic conflict that was going on for so long, it's over. Both Naruto and Boruto admitted that they were kind of wrong. Naruto should have trusted in Boruto a bit more. He should have listened to him a bit more, and Boruto shouldn't have let his pride stand in the way of his relationship with his dad, which he even stated during the versus Momoshiki arc. So, like, you know, both sides were kind of wrong, and everything got resolved. And that was satisfying, not only because Boruto as a character progressed, but, you know, Naruto progressed, because obviously Naruto was the main character for 700 chapters and 720 episodes, and you would think, okay, his story is done. You know, like, you know, he's not the main character anymore. Obviously, he's not the main character anymore. I'm not saying that, but still, when you see such, you know, growth and such a character that used to be the main protagonist, it just puts a smile on your face, and it really shows the quality of the writing during this arc. And I just fucking love this arc, man. So overall, just to kind of conclude or end this video, I think I already said it earlier, but I just want to repeat it just in case. This isn't a typical review. It was more like a discussion / review, because you know, like, I'm not gonna give like a numerical rating to this arc. I just wanted to, you know, to share some of my thoughts with you guys, to clear one misconception that was, you know, floating around the community while this arc was going on. lot of people were like, why are the Chunin exams so short? There should have been more fights and all that. And I kept saying this back then, and I remember I got some backslash. Anyway, I remember that some people got mad at me because of this, and some people were even talking shit on Reddit. And what I said back then is, yo, this arc isn't called the Chunin exam arc. That shouldn't be the main focus. Because, like, if you remember Naruto, the Chunin exam arc was so long, but the primary, like the focus of that arc, it was the Chunin exams. Here, it wasn't. And what I used to bring up is that the name of the arc is the versus Momoshiki arc. And because I remember I made like a 2-minute video on Twitter about this, and I didn't really properly explain myself, and people got the wrong idea. They thought that I said that the fights shouldn't be, the series shouldn't focus on the fights too much just because the name doesn't say the Chunin exam arc. Fuck all of that. Fuck the name of the arc. Even if you don't know the name of the arc, it's kind of obvious that the Chunin exams weren't the main focus. And despite all of that, I thought that the exams were pretty solid. We had some great fights. I think it was episode 61 when Boruto and, Sarada were fighting against Shinki. If I'm wrong, I'm just going to put it on the screen, like the number of the episode, but I think it was episode 61. I think that's, in my opinion, the second best episode of the Boruto series. The best one, obviously, episode 65. I don't even think that I need to explain myself here. Yeah. One final thing that I want to add about the versus Momoshiki arc, which I should have mentioned earlier in this video. Obviously, Boruto got the seal from Momoshiki, and that completely changes the Boruto series because Boruto's prophecy was read by Momoshiki. He literally said, yo, those blue eyes of yours will one day take away everything from you, implying that people will die in the future. And just that alone tells you how big this arc is. And obviously the confirmation that we got that, Boruto inherited the power of the Otsutsuki clan. Anyway, I think I'm going to stop here. Only time will tell how important this arc is. And honestly, I can't wait for the future of the Boruto series. That was your boy Hokage. Twitter and Discord links are in the description below. Also link to my second channel where I talk about other anime manga will be in the description. Let me know what you thought about the versus Momoshiki arc in the comment section of this video. Excuse me. So with that being said, that was your boy Hokage, and I'll see you in my next video.